Hello, everybody, and I am super excited today. We are going to be interviewing the gorgeous Bling angel, Jacqui. Hi, Jacqui.
Hi, Angie.
How are you going? I am so happy you're here today because you know I am very passionate about your mission and what you're creating, but people will learn a little bit more about that as the interview unfolds. So what I absolutely love to do is I love to share with people how I met the angel before they tell us a little bit about themselves. So I met gorgeous Jacqui through Mr. Hinkle. I think that's how I've met nearly everybody. She is amazing. Now, Jacqui, did we meet at it was business at breakfast, not the sales class?
No, Angie, we met. I think I had seen you at business at breakfast, but we met because Misty said, come along and play the game.
Oh, did we meet on the first night for, oh, so I didn't meet you at business at breakfast first.
I don't think so. I was just thinking that as you said. I think I knew about you and I knew about the game, and you were holding, I don't think it was your first one in Canberra. It was an afternoon one at the Mawson Club, and it came along and
That's right. I remember that. Yes. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. And then is that the one you bought your children to, or is it the one after that you bought the kids
to? The next one I bought my children to.
I know. Oh, that was so beautiful. Oh my God, I love that so much, those gorgeous girls of yours and that gorgeous little boy. And of course, I'm very fond, especially because he loves my game so much.
Yes. Oh, he loves it. He's going through some stuff at the moment. He goes, Mum, can we play the game?
Oh,
it's time. He's turning 10 on Saturday. And you know, there's a lot to work out in the world when you're 10.
Oh, I think that is beyond adorable. And I mean, he's such a good soul. He's such a great little soul. So, I love hearing that, but I better get back to how we met. Always off track. So, yes, and then you came and played the game, and then you were one of the wonderful women who supported the game 1-for-1 into a DV centre, and that's because you have a magnificent journey going on with that, which I'm sure will unfold in a moment. And after we played the game, I went to Jackie's home, of course, many cuppas, a bit of cake. I remember that beautiful chocolate cake you cooked. And now we catch up when I'm in Canberra, and Jackie's also creating the Find Your Bling website, which I'm super excited about because Jacqui creates the most beautiful websites. So that's enough from me, how we met, which was absolutely fabulous. I'm so glad you've come into my life. Very grateful for all the wisdom, and I always say that out of all the angels, Jacqui can take you on a journey with a metaphor that's a story that it's just so healing. I don't even know how you do it, but I love it. If I could bottle it and work out how to put it together, I would, but I don't think that sort of thing is something that we can do. But that's really wonderful. So, Jacqui, I'm going to ask you a series of questions today. And the first question, I'd love you just to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Which I will, but I do want to say how much I value having you in my life, Angie, and your gifts in my life.
Thank you,
okay.
Jacqui.
So I was born, and I often feel funny telling my childhood, but our childhoods really do shape us so much.
Oh,
so
they do.
My father was with Foreign Affairs and a very devout Catholic, and I grew up all over the world, and that really does give me, I feel like I'm a global citizen, that I do feel I'm a part of the world. I haven't lived everywhere in the world. I haven't been to all the continents. But when you go to a country that has a similar culture to yourself, you tend to notice the differences. And when you go to a country that's very different, you notice the similarities. So we were posted in Korea and Seoul when I was 4 and 5. And, you know, I was often the only Caucasian in the room. And I was, apart from my brother, the only Caucasian at school. And, you know, you just realize that we all want good things for the people we love. We all try to do our best. So that was great. And similarly in Rome, when I was much older, and you might say, oh, Rome, that's pretty similar. It's just that the school I went to, there were children from all over the world, which I hadn't experienced previously. And again, exposure to different cultures, different festivals, different traditions, again, all celebrating the things we love in life.
We're all celebrating life in a different way. But it's what is it? Same, but different.
Exactly, to meet the key needs that we have as humans.
Yeah, I think this is where you why you have such enriching stories. I do love how you can drop into certain stories and I'm totally captivated. And I'm like, I know one day we were talking about Egypt and then we ended up going on this whole conversation. It was just amazing. I always walk away from you learning something. And for that, I'm very grateful because we all know that I'm very curious and I love to learn, but I always feel like you enrich my life with some history or maybe something about a religion that I wasn't aware of. It's a really nice quality, Jacqui. I love it.
That comes from, we've all got our thing, right?
Yeah.
The question that's always bugged me, and we all ask this question, which is, why am I here?
Yeah.
And the answer's different for everyone. But I have been obsessed about that. And my father trained to be a priest before getting married. And religion, so, we're talking the 1960s. So it's pretty full on, and it was a time where you weren't meant to question anything. So when I rejected his view of Catholicism and the Catholic Church, I had to have good reasons because I knew that he loved me and I knew it brought so much to his life. So that was, and it's still part of my journey. So I'm a bit of a pattern recognizer, but why you've led me here is that I believe if a truth is a truth, it's a universal truth, and that's across the world and through the ages. And so they're the things I tend to look for, and they tend to be the foundations that I try to build on.
Yeah, and there are a lot of nice things in Catholicism. It's just taking the bits that are enriching your life.
And
because every religion
has something, doesn't it?
That's it.
Here goes the story. So there's a Sanskrit story of looking at the moon and what is the moon? And you ask one person and you get an idea of what the moon is. But if you ask 100 people who are looking at the same moon, they will all describe it differently. And if you integrate all of those stories, you will have a pretty good idea about what the moon is. And I think we bring that to this life too. We all look at it a little bit differently.
Yeah, I love that. I do love that. And I like the metaphor of the moon. And it is true. It's like Virginia Satir. She was a family therapist and a lot of her teachings are still taught. And I teach some of them too, that she's absolutely amazing. She was around in the 60s and 70s and she saw the need to bring families back together. And she did an experiment where she asked 300 people to wash the dishes, and she realized every single person washed them differently. And then in the end, she said, well, I could keep going, but obviously there's 300 ways to wash the dishes.
They all come out clean in the end.
They all come out clean in the end. That's exactly right. Yeah. I always say there's many paths to God. Everyone wants to have the one God, but what if it's just the one God, but there's many ways to him? The fact is, none of us are living.
Absolutely. And we've obviously, and then with the big horoscope, Jesus came for that 2,000 years, and Confucius and Muhammad are in that period too, and they brought the light, the concept of the divine light. But what I was going to say is obviously value because it lasted 2,000 years. We're only really rejecting it now.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Well, thank you very much for sharing that. And Jacqui has 3 beautiful children, a husband, and is very passionate about. I'll let you. Oh, actually, you might like to say that in one of your questions, so I might leave that. Sorry. I'll park that to the side. So I'll move on to our second question today. And our second question is, what has been your biggest challenge in life? And how did you jump through the hoop, or are you still jumping through the hoop?
I think our big lessons in life take a lifetime to learn. So I'd say I'm still jumping through the hoop, and, you know, you fix a little bit or look at it a different way. The biggest challenge for me has been letting go of my family, of my mum and dad, of their vision of me and becoming me, and being able to communicate that to them. And that's ongoing. And of course, we're constantly changing. So it's not a cut and dried conversation. Yeah. And then going, well, I'm allowed to be the version of me I want to be. They saw this in me and they wanted that because they thought that was best for me, but it actually hasn't been filling myself up. And then looking to other people to find out who the best person of me is and going, oh, well, living that way didn't work. Oh, actually, you know what? I actually have to listen to myself. Oh, blinking bananas.
That's right. You have to go try something on. It's like trying another jumper. I always say you try one, you know, like people love saying either the hat or the jumper, you know, like you try it on, you go, oh, that's actually not quite working anymore. Or you outgrow them. Sometimes you outgrow that part, and your heart, your mind, it's open and curious and it's ready for the next path. And that's lovely. Have your parents been accepting of you wanting to grow? Because obviously, in all fairness, they also gave you the courage to be yourself as well. So that would be quite a dichotomy in itself.
Absolutely. Oh, my parents separated when I was very young and divorced. Oh, it was really messy because Dad was such a staunch Catholic. Of course, he doesn't believe in divorce, so he held on long after the relationship was gone, and long after Mum had moved out. So it was always, and my mother wasn't a particularly healthy person at that time in her life. So no, I wouldn't. I'd say my mother has accepted me because I'm not particularly close to her. So she kind of had to, which is kind of a mean thing to say, but I wasn't prepared to change to keep her in my life.
Yeah.
With my father, he remarried and his values have changed. And maybe I've grown more to see that they were probably always different, but I always felt loved and safe. But now I feel it is a kind of conditional thing. So no, that's actually my big journey over the next 2 months, is to try and sit down and have that conversation with him and just say, oh, I don't think you're seeing me for who I am. So yeah, it's kind of weird to be saying that, you know, when I'm middle-aged and he's heading on into his 70s. I mean, it's the power of parents, isn't it?
It is, but I think that's the power of a conversation, Jacqui. How wonderful that you actually want to go and open your heart. How many people just would prefer not to share? And you obviously can share because your father will listen on some level.
Well, I have to say it, basically. I think that's honest. Instead of the relationship just ending with assumptions made everywhere, I think it's honest to say, well, this is how I felt. I'm not asking you to change, but this is how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's very deep and profound. I know it's going to go well, Jacqui, because it's just one of those. Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Have I gone unstable?
Oh, you're back. Okay. Sorry. I don't know what I did then. Sorry. Okay. We're all back. That's okay. I'm not the smoothest interviewer. I'll let you know that. I'm not sure what I touched. So yeah, I do. Go on.
I would like to say, I'm kind of saying the things that shape me from a negative point of view. From a positive point of view, my father was always very much growth mindset. You will learn something every day for the rest of your life. So that really set me up for that.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. And I recognise that, but look, the question was challenge. That's why you went down that other road. But I think that's a beautiful thing that he's brought to your life too, that you can learn something new every day, and gave you that confidence, and that, you know, not because you're a girl you can't learn. And I know that that has happened to many women, as you know. Jacqui, number 3, what are you most passionate about right now?
I'm really passionate about health, Angie, health of us as a human culture, health of individuals, health of the planet. You know, that's all interconnected and intertwined. If we have a healthy planet, we're healthy. And at the moment, as I kind of mentioned before, as a pattern watcher, I really believe that we all need to thrive and bring our vision of the moon to the world so we can understand the part of the world we're in. And what I see as greatly imbalanced at the moment is masculine and feminine energy. And I am, one way that I would really like to balance that is to encourage women to be in their femininity and to own it and to spread it and to work with feminine ways. We need the masculine. We've created a wonderful, safe society. We're not afraid of tigers jumping out of bushes, or and we've created structures which is masculine energy, and a lot of mothering has to come from a masculine energy. So I'm saying all this to be clear that I'm talking about energy, not gender. Yeah. However, generally, women will find it easier to tap into their femininity given the space. And so I'm very passionate about creating spaces and empowering women to be able to explore and bring their gifts to the world. And for a lot of us, we're damaged. It's the way we've done things. As a human race, it's the way we've done things, and as a culture, it's the way we've done things. So I like to create spaces in the networking, and I'm very fortunate to be part of some really beautiful, uplifting women's groups. They're not called women's groups, but that's basically how they've evolved to be. And, you know, the women there speak about the intangible things that make our lives so much richer, like doing the healing work with the angel cards and the Find Your Bling cards, and having conversations, yes, and sharing stories, and just normalizing the range of normal. And quite often, because of choices and because of the way society is, it's difficult to find a space, like I would call a mother space, you know, when you're just exhausted, and just someone to hold you, feed you, reskill you. So I'm passionate about creating spaces for women who have had an experience that has knocked their confidence. And often women come with dependence, so they can't just focus on themselves, and sometimes that's a good thing, but often it's not in terms of the healing journey. So I would like to create a space where I'm thinking property, where women can work with the land, they can be in tiny houses, they can take a healing journey through a course to deal with the mental and physical aspects of it, that is low cost. Because, of course, often money is a big factor in the choices we have in life, as men and women, but particularly lack of it as women, and lack of confidence and recognition for those feminine qualities, for the caring. You know, at the moment, teachers in New South Wales are striking, asking for more money because, you know, one of the most impactful professions in our world is not valued. It's just unbelievable. And that's been highlighted during our lockdown times, that the absolute pivoting that the teachers have done, that they've been in our houses every day supporting our children and teaching our children, and going home then and supporting their own children, a lot of them. So that's passionate about everyone on the planet thriving but I see the major imbalance in the masculine and feminine, and I would like to empower women. Saying that, we do have a lot of power that we are not cognizant of. So one of the facts that came out in the Women's Entrepreneurship Day, or that's how I came across this fact, is that women make 85% of consumer purchase choices. So they mightn't have the money, but we're choosing how it's spent. And that is real power. And I really invite people to, buy what you want, but also buy it from someone who's doing what you want in the world.
Yeah, nice. Absolutely. I think that's a big one, because I think that it's obviously all been brought to attention now. I don't think any of us had any idea that clothes were being made in sweatshops. I mean, there are a lot of things that people were unaware that they were doing, and some great voices have come out of that, directing us in a new way of looking at where did that come from, who put it together, and what was the cost of putting it together. And I don't mean money.
And the cost of disposing it.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. I actually love your backyard. I have to bring that up in this bit, because we're talking about what you're passionate about right now. And I know that you're building a little eco-friendly unit out the back for your daughter, plus your worms. I just love your little worms going everywhere.
My willing workers.
Your little workers, yes. So, you definitely have a backyard that it actually makes you feel alive. Because there's so much living in it.
Yes, the chocks and the worms, and I'm learning. So Angie knows this. So we're also interconnected, and I came across permaculture years and years ago, and finally did a permaculture design certificate. And permaculture is about working with existing behaviours to provide synergistic outcomes. So to put as little, and it's not about controlling, so much of our world today is about controlling the environment to keep us safe, whereas permaculture is a design system. It's mainly associated with agriculture, but it can be used in any place, and it's about observing the existing systems and finding ways to work with them to get the desired outcome, rather than going, oh, I want this outdoor room, so I'm going to come in and cut down all the trees. And the worms are wonderful. We're in Canberra, we're on the Mount Ainslie volcanics, we've got really hard clay. The worms break it up for me without breaking my body.
That's right. And it's good for the environment.
Yes, you're capturing the carbon. You're making it so that there's more room for organic stuff to be in the soil and break down, and also capture the water, to retain the water. I've got one patch of ground now that I can put the hose directly on for 10 minutes and no water overspills. That's how much water it's capturing. And I went to passionate about health. So I was talking to Walter Jacqui, who's an Australian, but he tours the world now. And he's saying there's no problem with climate change. The world will go on. The problem for mammals is that the carbon dioxide and the water vapor is being held in the atmosphere instead of the ground. And when we have healthy soils, that can all be captured in the ground, and it turns around so quickly. I know, and you saw my backyard last year.
I did. I was in awe.
And now so last year in the dry, there was very little growth in the high traffic areas, whereas now it's, nature just turns things around really quickly when you work with them. And that's what working with the Bling cards does too, doesn't it?
It does.
Gives that conversation, you're working, bang.
I love what you just said. It's working with nature, with what's there. And that's almost like you're talking about health today, and it's like working with your body, with where it is right there.
And your mind. And it's not trying to say you're here and this is where you should be going.
Yeah.
And I think that's what feminine energy does too, is it's saying, this is how I want the outcome to feel. But it doesn't have to look a certain way. I want it to feel this way. I want to feel happy and energetic and give to the people around me.
Yeah, and feel nurtured. Yeah, It's that mother energy that is solid.
Yes.
It's safe. It's safety. But, you know, she needs to be protected properly to exude that. And when women don't feel safe around, I'm just going to use males, because we all know even if you're in the same gender, one is more male, one is more female. It allows that person to be more mothering when they are protected from the protector. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
it does. And that yes, we need both very much. So you need that safe container to let go, don't you?
That's right. You need, yeah, that's right. It's acceptance, full acceptance. All right, I love what you're passionate about incredibly much, as you know. Okay, number 4. What is one thing you would love to share with women that could help them? It's like, what is your golden nugget to other women, Jacqui?
I'm waiting for it to come.
Oh, you're so funny.
At this point in my life, it's really love each other, be kind to each other. Everyone has a gift. Look for that gift in other people. Really look for that gift in other people. And a practical tip is only have things in your life that serve more than one function.
That's a goodie.
We're so time poor, and we're in this society, and so in permaculture, the chicken is often used. It produces eggs, it scratches up your garden, it provides fertilizer. It's a living being, so there's connection. It brings so many gifts. I do a movement practice that is mindful and also moves your body and also has a spiritual aspect to it as well. So obviously there's some things you might absolutely love that only serve one purpose, and it may be purely decorative service, but to bring a richness and abundance, I think things should serve more than one purpose.
Yeah, more than one purpose. I love it. I love your kindness bit. Do you know, if we could see kindness in people more, and I know you and I were saying that we suffered this a bit, that we see all the good and then I go, oh, what happened there? That was a bit odd. It came, but you know, I would prefer to live life like that, because I truly believe what you're seeing in other people, you're seeing in yourself. And what is it? Is it either a trigger? Is it something that you need to heal? But when you go around feeling good around the people that you're with, well, then you're going to exude, firstly, more of that mother energy, that kindness, that's going to enrich other people's lives instead of running around with, judgment and negativity.
Absolutely. And then it's fascinating talking to other friends about common friends. And I'll go, oh, I didn't know that about them. And they'll go, yeah, no, they didn't want, you see them so nicely and they like the way that you see them. They didn't want to share that side with you.
Well, that's okay. I like that we bring out the good in people, Jacqui. That's a good thing.
Absolutely.
But sometimes I truly am. Sometimes I feel like a deer in headlights. Do you know, like something will happen sometimes with someone and I go, I did not see that coming at all. Or, but I have learnt now, I think in my younger years I would be quite upset about it, when now I'm like, their journey, that's okay. It's all happened. I'm okay with it.
Absolutely. There's certainly, I can look back at aspects of myself, and I know I'll look back at this me in future years and go, oh, she had a bit of growing to do there.
I think actually once you decide to start personal development, you recognise it's like the gym. You'll be doing it for the rest of your life. And when you're a lifetime learner, you know that we all go backwards as well. And then, it's that 3 steps back, 2 steps back, 1 forward, or sometimes 2 forward. It's the ebbs and flow. It's going to, what's going to impact you is your environment, the job that you have at the moment, all those things play a part in your safety and how you're functioning at that time. And we can't function at love and above all the time. Sometimes we do need to go down the rabbit hole to learn something.
To come out, hopefully, regenerated with more love and above.
Totally enriched and with something of value, because you've generally let go of something really negative, or whether you've let go of something about yourself or you've let go of someone. It could be a mixture of a lot of things.
And in nature, when that happens, see, nature doesn't create waste. So that then decomposes and fertilizes the growth, the new growth.
Yeah, which really happens to us. As we go through pain, it enriches our lives.
Yes, although it mightn't feel like it at the time.
Never feels like it at the time, let me tell you. Never feels like it at the time. Okay, Jacqui, we are up to our little bling quickie, our little 5 minutes, I know, our little saucy bit. And I'm going to ask you 5 questions under 5 minutes. Let me tell you, no one's done it. We usually talk for like 15 minutes because we get get stuck on one of the questions and then we explore that. But that's okay. So just answer as you would love to. Okay, Jacqui, if you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something nutritious that would actually feed you. I think I would just live on carrot juice, really.
You always have juice when we're together. You do love juice.
I do.
Carrot juice. Wow. Okay, that's very brave. I don't think that's what living on. But you know what? You're the only one that's probably going to live out of all of us as well. You'll live forever on carrot juice. Okay, carrot juice is your favorite. The one thing that you could eat for the rest of your life is carrot juice. Okay. What is
well, you know, and live on, tiramisu would probably be my tongue's choice.
I think that's a lot of people's choice. I like that. Okay, well, let's go for carrot juice and tiramisu. I like it. Okay, our next one is, what is your favourite book?
Oh, so many.
That you've ever read. I know you have devoured so many books. This is going to be a toughie.
It was, and actually ended up being fairly simple. It's The Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. It's just...
Oh, I love that book.
Brought so many of the different paths I was exploring together in one. And other people read it and focus on the story, whereas I focused on the energy story and didn't really connect. I didn't even see a lot of the violence in the book. I got it. I got that it was there and for the, but that really really affected me. And so I brought the energy model together, but it also let me know that my energy and the people around us affects the world around us. So particularly
really
when they were doing the experiments with plants, where they'd just go and tell a plant every day that they loved it.
Yep.
And they'd go and tell a plant every day that they were ignoring it, and the difference in the growth and the yields. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that book so much. That was the first time, when I read that book, was the first time I ever heard said, I'll never forget this one part in that book where he says, when you look into someone else's eyes, you're looking back at yourself. That was the first time I'd ever heard that in the Celestine Prophecy.
In the Celestine Prophecy. And I loved, it was also at a time where I was really letting go of the Catholic Church. I still believe in God and Jesus, and that we're part of something a lot bigger than we understand. So the final chapter in that book, where it talks about your energy vibration being so high that you ascend, basically, I went, oh, right, I get it. I get the whole Jesus thing now. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, no, I loved that book as well. Actually, you know what? I have not read that probably for 10, 15 years. I should revisit it.
I'm looking for it now. I've got 2 copies in the garage in boxes, but it's time to introduce it to my daughters.
Oh, nice. Okay, the next one is, what makes you laugh the most?
Just being with friends. Yeah, that one's a hard one. I realize I haven't been laughing a lot lately, except for in that kind of way at things I haven't been doing. but it is human quirks that make me laugh, not in a take fun out of people way. And I love words. So really clever word plays that show up human nature. And comedians like Billy Connolly or Robin Williams,
God, he's just so funny.
People. Yeah. That's what I like.
Yeah, no, okay, I love that. And I do love Billy Connolly. I know a lot of people are offended by his language. I'm like, you've just got to see past it. The guy's hilarious. Like, he is actually so funny. He had his own big story. Huge story. Huge.
Yes.
Okay, next one, Jacqui, is what song would sum you up the best?
Oh. I got no idea. I love, I can tell you what I really love at the moment. Again, they're story songs, but I love particularly Oxygen by Jean-Michel Jarre. I just feel it takes you on a journey, and I saw him play in front of the pyramids, and they had laser lights playing up over the Egyptian pyramids, and just that beautiful music. I'm not so much attracted to a lot of his other music, but that really got me. I Will Survive has certainly been a theme song at times, and I Am Woman has been a theme song at times. One that's really touching me at the moment is a spiritual song called Namaste, which is Namaste, Namaste, I see the beauty in you. So, but yeah, it's really lovely. Yeah.
I haven't heard of that one. That would be lovely.
I'll share it with you.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So I'm encouraging the angels to pop their links in the comments, so people can, because once people have watched the interview and completely fallen in love with you, they will also want to read your books, and they will love to experience the songs that, make your soul thrive. Do you like folk music, Jacqui?
I do. I love campfire music, stories, and Kumbaya.
Yep.
Even when everyone's hated it. And I don't know if you know Tammy Horton.
Yeah, I know Tammy Horton.
The Phoenix. So she taught me about Kumbaya. That was actually come by here, Lord. Come by here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
One of her missions is to spread the word so people understand what it actually meant. Yeah.
Really.
And that Ubuntu idea of I am because we are.
Yeah, that's nice. Very, very nice. No, I love your songs. You've got a lot of songs in there. I love it. I love you needed a whole compilation of what sums you up. I love it. And our last question today, Jacqui, is what is your specialty as a Bling angel?
I would like to give people, encourage growth and encourage people to see the path 3 or 4 or 5 steps ahead, but truly realize they're part of something that is so beautiful and so awesome and so much bigger than we are capable of seeing at this stage in our evolution on this planet, and that it's a beautiful, joyous journey.
It is. It really
so that's is. My specialty.
I love that. Yeah, I love that, Jacqui, and I think that's something that you're very, very, very good at. And I think also, even with your stories, when you offer these stories of wisdom, I know that you love to take the cards on that same journey and create the story for that person that's looking for that breakthrough or looking for the next move in their life.
Absolutely. And I love the way what you have created and supports that and brings that so easily and in such a fun way.
No, thanks, Jacqui. Thank you. Yes, it would have to be fun. If I created anything, it has to be fun. I need to have a little bit of fun. I always say, you know, laughter heals everything. Just, you know, when you first start in that pain, probably a few times in my life when I have been in those depths of the rabbit hole, a few times I burst into laughter and go, how did I get here? Like, what all, like, if I didn't laugh, you'd jump off a bridge. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's probably that's where I get that from.
It is a gift, and as we know, it raises your vibration. It's like a good cry, a good laugh, isn't it? Just
Yep, good
clears
cry,
a lot
good
of
laugh.
stuff too.
Whatever you need to get on the move. I love it. Yep. I love it. Well, Jacqui, I can't thank you enough for coming along today so everyone can get to know you. If you would love to have any Bling Angel sessions with Jacqui, or you'd love her to speak at your event, if you would like to just connect with Jacqui, I encourage you to go to the Find Your Bling site. You'll see Jacqui on there. I know you'll love her as much as I do, and we can't wait to see you for the next Bling Angel. And Jacqui, I can't wait to retreat with you.
I'm looking forward to it too. And thanks, Angela. Thanks for your courage and bravery to bring this to the world.
Oh, thank you. It does take courage and bravery. Thank you. I've actually never really thought of it like that, but thank you. It does. It is putting your heart and soul out there. But that's what I love about all your angels. You're prepared to do that as well. Everyone has an enormous heart, and everyone's ready to take some steps and stay open and curious and bring the best of them so you can be the best of you. You know, I always say we're going to heal hearts all over the world.
We are.
We so are. Okay. Thank you so much, Jacqui. And until next time, see you later, everyone. Bye now.
My husband just came home and he bought,